Alright guys, what's up? So we're back for video number 2. And as I promised in video 1, I was going to show you how to install the steering wheel control, the ASWC-1. This is for my 2015 WRX. There's a couple of videos already on YouTube that you can take a look at, so it should be pretty straightforward. If you go to their website, it does have an auto detect feature that should make it pretty simple. So I've got my instructions. Just so I can see which wires I need to hook up. So let me go ahead and unbox this thing and we'll get started. So when you first unbox this thing, you're going to notice that there's a ton of wires and it can look pretty daunting at first when you look at all the wires. The good news is you don't have to connect all of these. Most newer aftermarket head units or radios have an input for this in the back. So you're going to plug this one in. Of course, you're going to need your power, ground and power that you have to connect. So it should be about 4 wires, and then in my case, for example, I've got 3 more wires to hook up, I believe. I'll double check here in a second, but should be about 4 or 5 wires at the most, plus the control. This is the sending unit itself that'll tell the aftermarket radio what the connectors are. So the instructions are pretty simple. You know, once you hook everything up, you should get a couple of lights, and the instructions will walk you through exactly what they mean on there. But basically you're going to connect everything up, turn the ignition back on, click the volume up or one of the steering wheel mounted controls, and it's going to auto program itself. It'll give you a confirmation. Once everything's hooked up, just basically test it out and put everything back together and you're good to go. If for some reason you don't have the connector in the back of your aftermarket unit, or it's a different type of connector, it comes with a little additional piece. You may have to, hardwire this into the harness itself. So hopefully you won't have to do that, and it's straightforward. In my case, I'm using the Pioneer, the 5600BHS, and it does have the input in the back. So luckily for me, I won't have to do any more wiring than the ground, the power itself, and a couple other wires to control the unit. So I'm gonna go over to the car now and start hooking everything up, and hopefully it goes smooth. So. Alright guys, I got the radio out. One thing I wanted to mention is, since I installed the radio previously, some of the parts are not arrived yet on my last install, so I was waiting to do the remote programming itself. And I picked up these quick splice. There's a couple of different ones out there. I got these at the local auto part, but they work really well. I've used them in the past. I mean, you can solder on there if you want as well, but I find it sometimes to be a little bit easier to work with, and if I mess up, I can always undo it and not cause too much damage. So I highly recommend you get these in there. So I've got the radio out. I'll show you where the little connector, at least in the Pioneer head unit, you can see in the back that little connector. That's where part of the ASWC-1, the Axxess integration module, is going to connect to. And then you just got to wire everything else to the harness itself. So let me start with that real quick. Alright guys, I've got everything wired up in here. Let me grab the light here real quick. And basically you can see everything's hooked up. I've got it all hanging out. Here's the SWC connector itself. And we'll take a look at the lights here in a second. But you can see, if I shine, let me try to shine some more light on there. You'll see when I turn it on, I've already pre-programmed this ahead of time when I was testing it out, so it's going to blink green, but I'll walk you through the installation. Again, it's always best to go to the Axxess website and get the specific programming and wiring for your car. In this particular one, for the 2015 WRX, it only took about 4 wires, the ground, the positive, a couple other wires, and one that needed to hit a ground basically from the harness on the car side itself. And that was pretty much it. So I've got everything hooked up. I'm going to plug the radio in, and it's time to program this thing and test it out. So let me plug the radio in. All right, I've got everything hooked up. I got the radio back in there. There's the Axxess METRA connector. And we're going to program this bad boy. So all you have to do at this point is turn your ignition key. And I apologize that it's a little dark, to the accessory. Radio should come on. Now, you saw the METRA Axxess itself. There was a little green LED blinking. Basically, that's telling you that this has been previously installed or programmed before. So I'm actually going to go ahead and hit reset, which is the hole right here. Hold it for about 2 or 3 seconds, let go, and you're going to see it start blinking. What it's going to do now, it's basically, and see it turn the display off. It's basically learning, so you're going to get about, 7, 8 red blinks. Now it's going to go to the green, and then it should go to 15 rapid ones, red ones. And once we get a solid red light, now it's telling me, hey, I found your vehicle. It's programmed. It's that simple, guys. So the hardest part, it's definitely the wiring, because everything else is pretty straightforward. So now what I have to do is come over here, and I need to hold either the talk or the hang up button to try to program those as well. Until it goes off, it'll go green, and that basically tells me that this has been programmed. So hold it for a few seconds, and now that it's blinking green, I can let go, and it should turn off here in a second. It's basically saying the sequence is completed. And once that turns off, all you have to do is basically go into turn off the car again. I like to turn it off, pull the key out, and then let's turn it back on to accessory. Let the radio come back on. I'm going to have to reset my display and everything since I had the radio unplugged. Everything's gone back to how it comes out of the box. So now it's just a matter of turning it on. And it's probably not going to be on a radio station, so I need to find a radio station real quick. Here we go. Some nice little easy music for you guys. And now it's just a matter of testing it out, see if it works. You can see I've got volume up, which is nice. Volume down. And now you just have to test everything else. I'm going to try the seek button. So you can see I don't have any radio stations programmed, but it's working. See, volume down, volume up. So that's it, guys. That's all there's to it. So now you've got your factory steering wheels hooked up, steering wheel controls hooked up, and you're good to go. So now put everything back together and enjoy your tunes. Thanks for watching the video. Like it, click like if you like it, hate it if you do. Comments welcome as always, and check out the other Insta video as well. Thanks again for watching, guys. Alright guys, one more short video just to show you the final product. Everything put together, looks pretty good. And test out the controls one more time. So I've got everything back in there, just need to clean it up a little bit. And of course, steering wheel still working, which is nice. Turning the volume down and back up. You can also accept incoming calls with the answer, hang up buttons, and of course switch between radio stations, which is nice. So that's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Again, thanks for watching.